I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time.
Hello, Crafty Crandall fam. Welcome to another video. Today I am talking about all the art supplies that I found at the airport because I was recently on vacation and I decided that that would be a really fun video idea. I have never seen one of these done before. I'm sure they exist, but I just kind of had this fun idea of surely they must have art supplies at the airport because people get stuck there and they need something to do to pass the time. And so I went on the hunt. I managed to find some, and so I'm going to show you what they are today and test them out for you here today. I am not testing these out at the airport because I think that that would be rather difficult as far as filming, because I only packed a carry-on, so I couldn't have my tripod, etc. It was loud, etc., etc. So I'm doing all of the testing here. But without any further ado, let's hop into the art supplies. The art supplies that I managed to get while traveling include these really cool brush markers, which are water-based and which they show on the packaging used with stamps, but I don't have any stamps, so I'm just going to be using them as regular markers. They are water-based, acid-free, non-toxic brush tips. And then I got this wicked cool Lego Harry Potter coloring book that came with watercolors, so I am so excited to try this. I've actually gone through it at the airport. It also comes with stickers, which I just ruined. Sorry, I think that's, who is that? Trelawney. Yep, Trelawney, I ruined her sticker. It's okay. I went through and I marked some pages that I would be interested in trying for you, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to color some of these pages with these, color them with the watercolors, and also just do a regular sketch with some of these materials so that you can see how they work. I think the page that I am most excited about is this one with Dumbledore and Fawkes. It just looks really cool. I think that I can get a lot of color throughout it, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint this one. I disassembled the paint from the front of the cover, and I'm going to go ahead and wet the paints. I will use their brush, but to be honest, I'm not excited about how small it is, so I will also use some of my other brushes to do this painting, as I think it'll be a little bit easier, and we will see how it goes. This is a really weird color selection. Not sure how I feel about it yet, but I will let you know as we go along. So right off the bat, after I wet the paints, they look weird. So normal watercolor doesn't really do this. I don't know if I just put too much water in, but it looks like the pigment is like dissociating, so that's fun. First of all, I would like to state that I realize that this set is for kids. This is not meant by any means for professional watercolorists or hobbyists who are adults. At least not in my opinion. This paper is not watercolor paper, and you can tell right off the bat. That said, I think that this is such a fun introduction for kids to get comfortable with and familiar with watercolor. I would have loved this type of set as a kid, combining my favorite series, Harry Potter, with a really cool new art medium, watercolor. So while I do not attain the most amazing results with this set, I will say that I had a lot of fun trying it out and using it despite the limitations of the paper and perhaps the paint themselves. As you can see, this is not going great. These paints are weird. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swatch them on some actual watercolor paper and just see how they perform with respect to being watercolors. I don't think that this paper is doing them any favors, and I think that really kind of is to their detriment. Maybe they're amazing, and they just need to be used on the correct paper. So let's give it a shot. The swatching process for these went okay for the most part. I will say I definitely used a little bit too much water in the process, so the swatches took absolutely forever to dry. I actually had to wait until several days later to paint the piece that I do on watercolor paper with these because the swatches took so long to dry and I didn't have time that evening to continue once they had dried. That said, I do think that it was fun to see the whole range of colors laid out all at once, along with the markers as well. Here are the swatches. I did just apply a bit of water to see how well they reactivated since they are water-based. These two markers were disappointingly really dried up already, so that's sad. But the others look cool and I'm excited about them. I also have here all of the other swatches still drying, so once they're all dry we will review them and I will actually paint a piece with these supplies in my sketchbook. Ultimately, I decided not to work in my sketchbook for this piece because, to be honest, I didn't want to use another smooth paper, and the sketchbook that I'm currently working on is my Illo sketchbook, which is a mixed media sketchbook, not a watercolor sketchbook. So I took out my fluid block of watercolor paper and I started painting this adorable pineapple penguin. I really had no reference for this. I didn't really look at a pineapple before starting or really have a penguin in mind, but regardless, I had a lot of fun painting it and just trying to use these paints a little bit more using both the wet on wet technique, the wet on dry technique, and just kind of exploring color mixing options with a palette instead of just using the base colors. Overall, again, these are meant for children. Are they amazing quality? No. But does that mean that I had any less fun using them? Also, no. I think that they're a really fun hobbyist kind of activity. I think that they are a great introduction again to kids for this art supply, and I personally had a ton of fun using it. Backpedaling just a little bit while I continued to paint here, I saw so much inspiring artwork at the Philadelphia airport. We had a long layover there and I loved seeing so much artwork in one place. It was such an inspirational place. So if you have the opportunity to fly through Philadelphia airport, I highly recommend that you check out all of the art that they have available there. We literally went to every single terminal and I took video of art in every place that I found it. So along a lot of the walkways, in, just the air, on billboards, there was so much art and they really advertised it as such. They know what they're doing. They appreciate having an artistic space in the airport as well, and it was just so refreshing and I really enjoyed seeing artwork showcased like that. Really, that is what inspired this video. I had planned to do this video before even getting to the airport, but seeing all of that artwork at the Philadelphia airport just made it really concrete in my brain that that was what I wanted to do. And while the results of this painting are definitely not my best, I just really enjoyed the whole process of seeing the artwork there, finding some art supplies, and then bringing them home to try out for you guys. Please let me know if you liked this video, if you liked this concept. I would love to try it again in other places. I've got a couple of trips planned for, the spring and summer, and I would love to do similar videos like this, gaining inspiration from artwork around the world, or, well, at least for the time being around the country, but when I can internationally travel again at some point, around the world as well. I think that that is a great thing to do for my art community as well as the art community at large, just showing just really inspiring artistic places and places where you can go to experience artwork and gain that same inspiration that I did. So let me know how you liked it, and I do really appreciate your time in watching this. Again, my final result isn't exactly as I wanted, but I had a ton of fun doing it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Feel free to give this video a like if you liked it. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you're interested, and hit that notification bell if you do and want to be notified of when I post new videos. I tend to post videos every single Tuesday on art and book related topics, and I would love to have you along. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!